Zhang Feng is the son-in-law of a scientist named Dai Xinghua, the head of a research group that is developing a technology to desalinate seawater. Ling Feng, Dai's assistant, wants the results of this development very much, but access codes for them in possession of Zhang Feng, who receives a severe blow to the head and now remembers nothing. Ling Feng then decides to come at it from a different angle. He puts Zhang Feng up in his villa and sends his niece Shireen to him. The girl must convince the man that they are married, and gain his trust in order to get the codes. One obvious marker of troubled movies is the large number of alternate titles. Usually this indicates that the authors of the movie did not quite understand what to do with this project and how to promote it, or perhaps they were trying to get rid of the negativity that the picture had acquired at the stage of creation. But in any case, changing the title is a measure that is resorted to only in exceptional situations and not from a good life. The Lost Man has 3 variants of the Chinese title and 2 official English language titles. In the early posters it was called Fight to the Finish, but it was finally released under the title The Lost Man. And that's really for a reason. The film was shot back in 2019 and cost 30 million yuan to make, which is quite a lot by the standards of online cinema. But the thing is, it was originally made with the aim of a theatrical release in 2020. However, the coronavirus pandemic struck, theaters closed, and The Lost Man was, pun intended, lost. First, the authors abandoned their previously announced plans to make a trilogy out of this story. Then the saga with renaming began. In the end, the film reached the audience only in 2024, and it was already not a theatrical release, but the movie for streaming platforms, where it was not even released, but actually thrown out without any advertising or promo support. After watching it, however, you realize that the sum does not change from changing the places of the terms. Whenever The Lost Man would be released, and no matter how much money would be invested in its promotion, the result would have remained the same. Simply because it is an extremely passable either action movie, or thriller, or even a melodrama, the authors of which did not find the optimal balance between the genres and thought out the intrigue not very successfully. Who is who here is obvious almost immediately, and because of that, in turn, you begin to notice the illogicalities and far-fetchedness of the villain's plan. For example, the authors do not take into account that the story takes place in the era of the internet, and the first thing a person with amnesia would do is to go to search engines to read about his past. The Lost Man is not particularly satisfying as an action movie too. Yan Jie in the title role is not so famous in the West, but still an experienced actor with impressive training in martial arts, and in the scenes of hand-to-hand fights he looks very confident, but they are filmed and staged simplistically. And the main disappointment is the final fight, where Hong Kong action legend Colin Cho finally gets up from the couch, and sits back on it after 3 minutes, without giving Zhang Feng any serious resistance. When you cast such an actor to play the villain and don't know what to do with him, it's bound to be disappointing.